welcome to Lisa's Attic. I brought Nelson along today.
Happy New Year.
So we want to talk about a few things, and so we're both going to really be speaking about resolutions. All right. We know that everyone makes resolutions during this month, and sometimes they don't even last till February. So what we were thinking is that how to get a couple ideas in and to feel that you're victorious and to keep up. Maybe even out throughout the whole 2019.
Making some small changes instead of these dramatic changes that people want to do in the new year, and then it doesn't.
Right.
They don't keep up with it. We're looking to suggest some small changes to make.
Little bites, taking little bites, and then seeing how far you can go. So the first one is we're going to talk about the soda and your sugar, right?
Yep.
So we brought props today. All right.
It was hard to find soda in our house since we don't really drink soda. But we do use ginger ale for Mom. So if you're a big soda drinker, maybe 2, 3, 4 cans a day, what we're asking is, can you limit your soda intake even by 1 can? And the importance of that, and limit means what we're talking about is to substitute it for a glass of water or carbonated like seltzer water. But even just plain water.
Right.
But the importance of that is, I was looking at this can here, and this 1 can has 37 grams of sugars.
Oh, let's show them what that means.
37 grams. So yeah, I wasn't sure what that looked like.
So he took out his scale.
So I took out my scale, and that is 37 grams of sugar. I don't know, tablespoons onto there. That's a lot of tablespoons of sugar.
So if you could try to limit 1 can, you'll be saving this. So, think about it. If you could just do 1 can a day, and then for the whole week...
Whether you cut it out or substitute it with a glass of water or tea, a cup of tea.
Exactly. Have yourself a cup of tea. You wouldn't put that much sugar in a cup of tea, so you still can have some sugar without having all that sugar. So, by doing that for 1 week, I would suggest that you even chart it. Chart what you did. Say, hey, for this whole week, 7 days, I managed to get rid of 1 can of soda. That would make you feel victorious. And by charting it, you feel like you won. Okay, next one we got.
Now we were mentioning... tea, but maybe you're a coffee drinker. So again, coffee by itself is not a bad drink. It's a bitter, which is good for your digestion. But the problem is, very few of us drink straight black coffee.
Yeah.
We
drink lattes.
We add the milk.
But we don't drink sugar. We don't use sugar anymore.
We add the sugar.
Right.
And that's what makes the coffee not so healthy. Maybe this is what your coffee mug looks like. So what we're suggesting is, again, making minor changes, just switch it to a smaller cup.
Gotcha.
So still the same number of cups a day, but you make the first change to a smaller size, and then maybe from there, if you're a 3-4 cup a day drinker, maybe you can cut back on 1 cup a day.
And if that's something you just don't want to do yet, maybe you can just cut out the sugar. Do a little bit less sugar, then eventually get back to maybe less coffee.
I think 1 less cup is easier for me to do than cutting out the sugar.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Again, but that's what you chart. You put that on your chart, and you decide what's better for you. And that way, no one's judging. You're the one who's going to chart it for yourself. All right. So then, what do we come next to?
In terms of making
all right.
size.
This is a big one for me. This is a regular dinner plate. Very pretty, okay? You usually fill it up. Back in the day, you probably would have a steak hanging off on the sides. I know that's how we used to eat. But this is not your stomach. This is not my stomach, okay? Not even close. This is a more appropriate size. If you took this plate and made this your dinner plate, and this is usually your salad plate, and only used the inside here, that's probably the portion that you're supposed to eat. And if you can get used to that, your mind would say, oh, my plate is full, and you would still be, decreasing the amount of food you ate. Again, it's not a huge step, but filling up this plate as opposed to this plate, it is a difference. And that's something you could easily do. That's something that you could fill this up, and you could feel still good that you had a good meal. All right, next.
Evening time seems to be a big time for snacking, and maybe even if you did well during the day, where people can kind of blow it. So you had some suggestions for the end of the day?
I don't eat after 7. We try to eat our dinners before 7. I don't eat carbs usually at night, very little carbs, because carbs are usually for something for energy. That's how it works for me, maybe not for you, but I do limit my carbs at night. I prefer more proteins and vegetables at night. But that, again, if you're having slices of bread, if you want to have slices during the day, maybe you're having 2 to 3 to 4 slices. Maybe you can just remove one slice and have less. That, again, is a very small thing to do, but over the course of a week, if you're used to having 4 slices of bread, or maybe having a huge hero, maybe you're going to have that huge hero. That's probably about 4 slices of bread,
yeah,
a
that's a lot of
hero.
bread.
So maybe you have half a hero, okay? And then replace it with a salad, okay? Very small changes, but that can make a big difference.
You also had a good suggestion about if you do snack, sweet potato chips. What would be a better way than to just, while you're watching TV, or I don't know, maybe Chicago PD or something,
Oh, it's really loud.
and
Okay.
and opening this bag and snacking.
Take out what you want. I used to tell my kids they were not allowed to take this into the living room, and they still remember it to this day. Take out what you want, put the bag back in the cabinet, and take what you want. So we would give them a bowl, and then they can go and have a bowl, and that's what you had. If we had like Edelman Donuts was one of our favorite things. You can have a choice. You can have an Edelman donut, or you can have maybe something snacky. But you were allowed one a night, and my kids still remember that. It's not about getting rid of everything, because I don't think life should be like that. My mom would say, eat whatever you want. Eat in moderation. So if you know that I'm going to reward myself at the end of the day, and I'm allowed to have that one donut or that one cupcake, make it really special. Sit down, enjoy it, know that you deserve it, and eat it slowly, because you're not getting one to the next day.
So anyone who knows me, especially from school,
Okay.
knows that this is my downfall. Jelly beans. People around, they call me Mr. Jelly Bean. Well, I'll have you know that this school year, which started in September, we're now in January, I have not had one jelly bean all school year. So, trying to cut back on that. That doesn't mean that I'm not having the birthday cupcakes that walk into the classroom.
When you
but
do that,
but
you
I
come
have-
home and he'll warn me. He'll be like, "Listen, I ate really badly today. Please, no snacks. Just don't say anything. We're not going to talk about snacks tonight." But
Now you had
know.
you had some good suggestions around the house, like if the phone rings or just your day to day for you when you're in the house.
So this is what I do, because I hate exercising. Can I say that? I really don't like to exercise, but I believe that is part of a routine that you should do every day. That shouldn't be something that you have to drag yourself out to do. So we have steps in this house. We have actually a bathroom upstairs and a bathroom downstairs. If I have to go to the bathroom, I always go to the one upstairs. I make sure I run upstairs, and then what I've been doing lately is that I run up and run down and run back up.
So anytime you have to go upstairs on purpose, you'll go up, come back down, and come up again.
Exactly. So it's a small little thing, so I have to do it twice before I get to the top. But that's my little way of like, okay, it's really cold out. It's actually snowing a little bit today. I don't really feel like going for a walk in the cemetery, so I'm going to go up and down the steps a few times today. Also, if I'm on the phone, I used to walk a lot. I don't do it as much. I should be doing that more, but I will walk around the dining room table. Just keep walking. I know many people text and they're not on the phone. But if you have something like that where you have a phone call that you need to make, get up and walk. Don't just sit on the couch. Get up and walk the length of your apartment back and forth. You won't even realize you're doing it because you're so engrossed in the conversation, but yet you're still working out a little bit. You're still getting up and moving. And if that's all you did that day, that's okay. Put it in your journal. You did good. And never beat yourself up.
So go to the other side of the house and go up the stairs.
Yes, do both, and then come back down and do that again. But it's not a matter of, trying to beat or beat yourself up because you didn't do it. If you did one of these things today, just one, and you were like, hey, I managed to do that. Then you did 2 and 3 times, in 1 week you did it 3 times. You did great.
And what the reason we are doing this video, what kind of came to us, we drove by a couple of days ago, we drove by the local gym in our neighborhood, and we saw that it was packed. Of course, it's January. I'm sure they got a lot of new members. But I think both you and I know that if we go back March, April, May, it's not going to be as packed.
Exactly.
Because it's hard to keep up with those drastic changes. So what we are suggesting are just to make these small changes, bite-sized changes.
And these are just a small. We had a lot of there's a lot of other ideas that we can come up with, but we want you, our audience, to type down in the comments below what you're doing so that you can give the audience some more ideas. If there's something that you're doing, you say, hey, I do this, put it down there. And that way we can start a conversation. And maybe other people will get some great ideas that are not so difficult. And, you know, you wake up, I know when I wake up, I know I have to exercise. It's a miserable
what works
day.
for one person may not work for another person, but maybe someone out
Exactly.
there has something that will work.
And if you do like to exercise, share that too. If you're big into exercise, then that's wonderful. Do we have anything else? Or are we doing good?
I think that's it.
All right. So from us and Lisa's
Sacred
Attic,
Ways.
Sacred Ways, we love you, and thank you for all the people who mentioned that they miss us.
Yes.
We're
back in the attic.
We're very touched by that. So, and if you have a topic that you would like us to discuss, send it to us.
Let us
All
know.
right. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Happy New Year.